Hey guys, it's Jimbo's Grapes here doing a tutorial video, and today we're going to be talking about artifacting. So, first off, what is artifacting? It is using artifact scanners with a geoscanner to find artifacts. And when you do this, there's several different types of artifacts, and what you get from it, the main things are cortexes and MK2 CTs. So, the main thing that you want to get from this are the MK2 CTs and cortexes. I believe cortexes can only be found in this manner as well as CTs. You might be able to get them some other ways, but this is the main way that you're going to be obtaining these. You get other stuff as well. You get some kernels, you get some tier 3 negative and tier 0 stuff, which you can recycle for rare resources, but they're not super useful. And also, you can find observers doing this way. It's not really the best way to farm observers if that's something that you're going for, but you can also do that with it. But the main thing that you're going to want artifact for is CTs and cortexes. Okay, so that's the benefit of doing this, and it's very easy. So what you need to get started is a robot that's good for this. So there's a couple different robots that are good for this, but the main things that you want are high speed and good cargo. The reason for that is, and this is why I'm using an Icarus, I personally find Icarus actually to be a little bit annoying, but it's not the worst. It's probably my second favorite bot, but I'm just trying it out for now. The reason Icarus is good is because it has high speed and it's got a good cargo space of 20 units. Um, on top of that, the Hermes is also really good. So these are both syndicate bots. Hermes is actually specifically designed for artifacting, so specialized in exploration. It gets a bonus to the scanning range and also the accuracy. So it's got a decent cargo capacity of 16 units and a decent speed of 108. The Icarus is a little bit faster and it does have a little bit more cargo, so it is a little bit better if you're planning on doing long or quite a lot of artifacting, especially on an island that's not at your home base, because then you won't have to spend time going back to your base and unloading and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to Gamma Islands to artifact, so I like to have the Icarus because it's got the nice storage space. So all that you really need besides that is a lightweight frame, a geoscanner, and your charges. I only use R50 charges, so there's three different types of charges. There's 10, 30, and 50. And the reason I only use 50 is because it's got the longest range and it takes a lot of time to be switching up in and out between the different artifacts. The benefit of the 30s and 10s is that they are cheaper and they're slightly more accurate, but it's not a huge deal. I prefer the 50s because the nick isn't really a problem, and I just much prefer them because then you're not switching all the time having to worry about that. So, with that being said, um, there are a couple other things that you can bring along with you. If you're going to be wanting to try new observer stashes, you're going to need some standard teleport beacons. I don't think I have any on me right this second. Just grab some really quickly. I'll bring two. I think you can pull it right over here. Yeah, okay. So if you're going to be doing observer beacons, or if you're lazy like I am and you want to just use them instead of having to run around all over the place, which honestly isn't that big of an issue because you should be using a bot that's fairly fast. Anyways, if you're going to want to be doing observer sessions, you need to have a standard teleport beacon, especially on the Gamma Islands. On Alpha Islands, it's not that big of a deal because you can just run away, and typically you can get away without problems. On Beta and on Gamma Islands, the observers will kill you. Okay. Um, I've tried many different things. I've tried using shield generators. I've tried using demobilizer resistance. Uh, Generally, you just end up dying. So you're going to need your standard teleport beacons if you want to be doing observer stashes. And the reason for that is, so when you get to an observer stash, what happens is You activate it, and it spawns 1 to 2 observers. On Gamma Islands, they lock you extremely fast, they demobilize you, so you lose all of your speed, and then they kill you. However, if you have a standard teleport beacon and you activate it, so what you'll do is you'll activate your activate your charge, you'll get close to it so you're right on top of it and you know that you're right on top of the artifact. You activate your standard teleport beacon, you wait until it's ready to go because they have a delay before you can use them. I don't know if it says the delay on here, so it's got a 180-second delay. So you have to wait 3 minutes before you can trigger the artifact. So you throw this down, wait the 3 minutes, then you activate it. You activate your geoscanner to trigger the observer stash. You grab the loot, and then you activate your standard teleport beacon to teleport away. Okay? Alternatively, if you're not that fast, you can activate your geoscanner, teleport away, then go back and collect the loot. So you'll want to mark where it is because you got to get back to it fairly fast, otherwise it disappears. Okay? So these are the things that you need. I use a lightweight frame. Once I get tier 4 of these things, I'll be using tier 4, of course. But yeah, this is pretty much all that you need. So for right now, I'm just going to show really quickly how you do artifacting on a alpha island, and then I'll be going to gamma because how it works is on alpha, you've got tier 1, 2, and 3 artifacts. The tier 1 being the lowest, tier 3 being the highest. So tier 3 has better loot. It's got higher chances of having cortexes in them and better chance of getting rare CTs. So on alpha islands, the loot is worse, and you have 1, 2, and 3 artifacts. So I'll just activate this here. You can see I'm a little bit laggy because I'm recording. Got a bunch of different artifacts here. On beta islands, you still have levels 1, 2, and 3. See, I didn't even get a level 3 here, so all of these are kind of trash. So you've got levels 1, 2, and 3 on beta islands, but the loot is better. So you have higher chances of getting cortexes and rare CTs, and you'll get more resources from them as well. On Gamma Islands, which are the best by far, you only have tier 2 and tier 3. On top of that, it also generates more loot, so they are far superior. Okay? So, as you can see here, and this is something that I didn't know personally for a long time, I've got my radar set so that it's stuck, so the north is always at the top. I just prefer it that way. But you can move around, and you see these dials here. They show you the general direction that you want to go. So, something that I did before was I would move around, see if the artifact is getting closer or further away, which obviously is just silly. But you can clearly see that as I turn around in the 360 arc, the dial here also moves. So what you want to do is have the dial facing forward, and then I've got my ranger here set for 5,000 kilometers because that's about the range of my artifact scanner. What you can do is you can get your radar, you can go to 5,000 kilometers, try to scroll in so that you're kind of right around the bubble, and then you can set your range to 2,500 or 2,000 or whatever you want. Not that, 2,500. And now you know that you're 2,500 away here, 5,000 away here. So if I want to go towards this one, it's 2,366 away, So I can line up. I know that I'm about 2,500 away here, so I got to go a little bit in from that because I'm 2,400 away. Autopilot here. And then while your robot's running, if you have other accounts or other things to do, you can go away and do that. So I'll check it on my miner really quickly, drop the stuff off, go back to mining, come back in, still not there, go to my other account, do whatever. You can do whatever you want in that time. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, so what you can do is, again, you can line this up, and then another thing you can do if you really, really want to, you can set the marker range every single time. So, okay, so I click this again. Okay, so I'm 1,016 meters away. So I type in 1,016 meters with my marker range. Okay, zoom in, line myself up perfectly with that. And then I aim right to the middle, autopilot here. Now, when I activate it again or when I come back after doing my mining or my other stuff, I should be right on top of it. So these are all things that you can do just to make it a little bit easier and have to watch it a little bit less. Obviously, if you're on beta and gamma islands, you're going to want to be paying a little bit of attention. Otherwise, you're going to run through some observers and get yourself killed, which might be an issue depending on how much you've done so far. So again, I'll just let my guy autopilot. So I'm a little bit away, but I'm within 100 of where I was going. So I'll click it again. I'm 16 away now. And this is one of the issues with the Icarus, is you can see my accumulator drops by a ton every time I click this thing. So if you're not doing very accurate scanning, sometimes you can run out of accumulator and it's a little bit annoying. On top of that, if you find stuff that's close together, then sometimes. So I'm 16 meters away here. I'll try to center it because these do pick up within 15 meters, I believe, so I should get it here. I did. There's my artifact. Look at all the juicy stuff, and that's pretty much all that there is to it. So last thing I'll say is you get CTs from scientific wreckages. So they are one of the best things that you can do. Salvages, infestations, and industrial trusts. I know salvages and infestations, wreckages, and observer stashes all have the chance of getting cortexes in them, although they're quite low. And then Industrial Trust has usually some minerals and stuff in it. I don't really know if they drop CTs or not. I don't remember. I'd have to look that up. But basically, scientific wreckages are the best because you have the highest chance of getting CTs from those as well as cortexes. Observer stashes usually have a lot of cortexes in them. I did one on Gamma. It had 3 mech cortexes in it, so it was pretty good. The last thing I'll say is you want to get all the artifacts that you see. The reason for that is each island always has 10 artifacts on it. As soon as you activate one, it spawns a new one somewhere on the island. So what I typically do is I'll go to one section of the island, so say this section here, get all the artifacts there. I'll go to this section, get all the artifacts, go to this section, get all the artifacts, and then when all of them spawn, a lot of them will have spawned here. So then I'll have a lot of artifacts to collect here. And then I'll have a lot of artifacts to collect here, a lot to get here. So it's good to get all of the artifacts because it spawns new ones. And then if you go in sections on the map, then you can sometimes get sections with a lot of artifacts in them and just knock them all off really quickly and go around in a circle around the map. And it's very effective. Another thing, if you have all crap artifacts and you don't want to go through the trouble of activating them all, just go to a different island. It's that simple. A lot of Gamma islands are connected to each other, so you can just go to a different island. Now, I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know. Also, I guess I should say, infestation and observer stashes spawn enemies. The rest of them don't. So infestation, if you've got a fastball like this, 146, as long as you activate it and run away, you should have no problems outrunning them. It just spawns orange NPCs, so they won't hunt you down, they won't chase after you. As soon as you're out of their range, they're done targeting you, you can run back and say hi to them. Observers, same thing. If you can run away from them on Alpha Islands, you'll be fine. On Alpha Islands, typically with 146 kilometers or anything close to that, you can run away from them. On Beta and Gamma, you can't. They will lock you and kill you. Unless you know something that I don't. It's possible that there's a setup that you can do that. I don't really bother with it. I prefer just doing the standard teleport beacon and warp away from them. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys found this useful. That's pretty much everything you really need to know about artifacting. If you have any questions, hit me up in Discord. I'm on Farmer server, or just leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.